Well, hello everybody. We're here at Lavender and Green's Ihe Éireann 4, celebration of Irish lesbian and gay life. And it's really wonderful to be here. There are a couple of hundred people here with family, friends, supporters. And this is a very special moment because standing here beside me is Anne O'Leary, representing the Irish Consulate and the Consul General of Ireland here in New York. And it's really, really wonderful to have you here. It's special for all of us.
It's a great pleasure to be here. I think this is the first time that the Irish Consulate has been represented at Ihe Éireann.
That's right.
And it's the fourth Ihe Éireann.
Right.
So we're absolutely delighted to be here and to represent the Consul General here at Ihe Éireann. We congratulate Lavender and Green for organising this function. I think it's a very important, inclusive type of function, which includes all manner of family and friends of gay lesbians, Irish gay lesbians in New York, which is a great thing to see. And we congratulate your special guests of honour.
That's right.
Here this evening,
Rena Blake and Al Lawrence, yes, and Deirdre Gunn, whom we remember especially. And actually, I was just thinking as we were speaking, sometimes New York can be a little bit behind sometimes Ireland. I was just thinking of when the President of Ireland, Mary Robinson, welcomed Ireland's lesbian and gay community to Áras an Uachtaráin. So here we are a few years later. It's really wonderful to have you here. And it's, of course, what are some of your own thoughts about...
Well, we look forward to continuing the relationship with the gay and lesbian community here in New York. I think it's important to express your culture in all its aspects, and we look forward to continuing this relationship. And as I say, we've been given a lead by our President, which we take very, very seriously, and as I say, we look forward to continuing this.
Right, that's terrific. Well, listen, I know you weren't feeling the best, and you've really, gone out of your way to be here, and we're certainly grateful. Now, we certainly hope that someday both of us we'll all be able to work with Lavender and join in that great Irish celebration. That's our great hope. For many lesbian and gay people especially, it takes a long journey to be able to even come together and celebrate something. There are many who often don't make it that far. But we're really delighted to know that the Irish government has moved with the community and is working. We're all working together for equality for all Irish people, whether straight or gay.
Well, let's celebrate St. Patrick's Day and
that's
what
right.
we're all about. And that's
right. Well, once again, thanks very much. And really, agus lá féile pára chuna bhuite agus the chláirde agus the gachdaoine an fáilte. So
it's working. Fáilte Romhaibh go léir. Arash, welcome all again. Welcome back, and for Ihe Éireann 4. I know you're all there crowded around the bar. Maybe we could, sometimes that's the toughest place to get an Irish crowd away from home. What have I just done? Never mind, I think I slipped into it, never mind. Okay, everybody move down, grab a seat. The pipers are actually raring to go to open up Ihe Éireann 4. Really a hearty welcome to everybody, but please put your hands together for the Long Island Ravens. Fáilte Romhaibh go léir.
All right, and so we'll go on ahead. This is a... Can you hear us down the back?
No, they can. Okay, great. Great machine. That's the last time we go to the Salvation Army. All right. Okay, great. And this is a very, very special Ihe era for many, many reasons, and you'll be hearing that throughout the night as it goes along. But many of you will remember a special moment in the life of the Irish lesbian and gay community in Ireland, and often neglected in many ways by the very government and politicians we elected. But a very special moment in her life came with the election of Mary Robinson as President of Ireland. And one of the first gestures that she did was to welcome Ireland's lesbian and gay community to Áras an Uachtaráin. And likewise over here, today is a very special moment. Sometimes we are also waiting for fullness of welcome and acceptance in our own community, and we'll continue to struggle and work for that. But after 4 years, we're very, very happy to have in our midst somebody, Anne O'Leary, representing the Consul of Ireland here in New York. So please give Anne O'Leary from the Irish Consulate a very special welcome. Thanks.
Inviting the Consulate here this evening. I'm very proud to be here to represent the Consulate of Ireland, and I pass on the best wishes of the Consul General, Barry Robinson, who unfortunately is back in Ireland due to a family bereavement, but he sends his best wishes to Ihe Éireach 4. It's hard to say that. I want to really thank Brendan for getting in contact with me and inviting me to be here this evening, and to recognise Brendan and Jimmy and all the people who have put in such hard work into this evening. You've arrived and there's a beautiful spread in front of you, and lovely artwork and exhibitions on the walls, and these things don't happen overnight. I think there's a lot of hard work being put into it, and I think we should thank everybody who put all the effort into this evening. Long because I'm suffering from a heavy cold and my voice is going to give out, so you're in luck this evening. I'm just going to be very short. What I want to say is I want to congratulate very sincerely our two honorees here this evening, Anne Lawrence and Rena Blake. I'm sure you're going to be hearing from them later on. I want to recognise them. This is a very special evening for them, and I hope it will be a very memorable evening for them as well. And finally, I just want to wish the Lavender and Green Association the very best of luck in the coming year, and congratulating them on a year of very good work as well. The Consulate looks forward to continuing our relationship with Lavender and Green, and we do think it's an important association to maintain inclusiveness in our community, and to give the gay and lesbian community a focus for expressing their Irishness in all its aspects. And we certainly look forward to continuing our relationship with the association and with the Ihe Éireach. So have a great evening, enjoy yourself, and thank you very much.
Will tell you, we all look forward to having been able to fully celebrate our Irishness in the fullness of who we are, and we'll continue to work for that day as well. Of course, that's on St. Patrick's Day, but we're not quite there yet, and we're here to celebrate. And of course, before and as part of any celebration, we have Charlie McCarran. Charlie McCarran, is he here? Where's Charlie? Charlie is here. Charlie, before we just start the food, Charlie is going to do blessing, invocation. You all know Charlie McCarran. Well, for those of you who don't, Charlie McCarran is director of the Rockville Centre Diocese Aid Services. He's also executive director of Pride House in Queens. He's also an activist. He's also wanting dignity, and just wherever our community is moving, you know, Charlie is there. Thanks very much. Great.
First, yes, from your Scottish cousins at Clan Inúr, as the only Scot here maybe that I see. Greetings and Kate Schmel Falcha Ika Erach 4. And we hope our organizations, the Scots and the Irish, continue to work well together. In Enimina, Herakas and Vid, Akas and Spirit now, Garev Alternative, Akas Latfian. This is a grace known as St. Bridget's grace, and it's a grace that that goddess become saint is said to pray at her feast in heaven. I should like a lake of ale for the King of Kings. I should like a table of choicest food for the family of heaven. Let the ale be made from the fruits of faith and the food be forgiving love. I should welcome the poor to my feast, for they are God's children. I should welcome the sick to my feast, for they are God's joy. Let the poor sit with Jesus at the highest place, and the sick dance with the angels. God bless the poor, God bless the sick, and bless the human race. God bless our food, God bless our drink. May all homes, O God, embrace. Amen. Amen.
Good, thank you, Charlie. And so the food is well blessed now, and we're ready to begin. And so God knows you've got long enough appetite. So how we start with?
Well, I happen to be a school teacher, so we're going to do this my way, or we'll all sit till we're ready. I can wait. Okay, here's the deal. Last year we had a hard time. We got backed up in the corner. So, what we're going to do is send a table or two at a time. And if you could just bear with us while it goes. We'll have some music to listen to. The food will still be there when you get there, okay? Rena's table there. The lovely table to our left. Yes, Christine, your table.
and I believe his spirit and memory still activates many of us here. And his parents carry on that movement and activism on our behalf, and act on our own behalf. And so whether we're celebrating or activating, it's all one thing. It's about being Irish, lesbian and gay, and fully alive. And well, here's now is a time to dance. So don't be shy. You can step on the floor, those who feel it, find a partner, waltz around a bit. And we never turn the lights down here, so, you know, we do everything with the lights on. So, okay? Thanks a million, Sally. Okay.
Husband now. Hold the camera, it'll be a great sight now.
This ain't gonna work.
Pipes and drums! For the center! 1, 2!
I know some of you have been sort of looking through the program, but we thought we'd just like to really emphasize that we receive messages of support from many places. We just thought to show you the diversity of support that we in this community receive, we thought we'd read just 2 short letters for you. Okay, Jimmy's going to read one.
As you know, this is a very well-planned event. 2 weeks ago, we called David Norris in Ireland, inviting him.
Who is he?
David Norris, openly gay senator in the Irish Senate, elected, chosen when? How long now?
How long, Rena?
He's been it's a little quiz, Rena. He's a great guy. He's been in the Senate. Patrick, you know him. He's been a Joycean scholar.
Yes. Leader of the movement in Ireland, and as an open gay political candidate, he went for election and was voted into the Senate in Ireland.
Yeah,
and has remained there.
A great guy. So we called him up 2 weeks ago and invited him. He couldn't make it, but he did call us and in fact sent a letter along. I'm just going to read it to you now. It's from the Irish Senate, Waila Aha Clia, Lavender and Green Alliance. Dear friends, I salute you for your courage in combating homophobia in New York. It saddened me very much to discover some years ago how, having fought as a Southern Protestant to secure an end to discrimination against Roman Catholics in the North in the areas of employment and housing, some of those who are on the same side in this issue found no contradiction in denying those self-same rights to gay people in New York. You have my admiration and best wishes, and I hope you have a wonderful time at your St. Patrick's Day celebration. Yours sincerely, Senator David Norris.
Problems with the sound here. Well, we also did some calling around, and I believe, unlike maybe other people, we do our inviting, and we are an inclusive event. And so I actually sometimes call people who don't welcome or invite me to let them know that, well, you know, sometimes we don't share that same spirit. And we're an inclusive, all-inviting event. But not everybody that we invite is able to come. And unfortunately, I think the Irish chaplains to the immigrant community are very busy tonight, but they're not able to be with us for whatever reasons, and other people. But the Catholic Church, there are many who are working, who are pushing, and who have been with us from day one on this issue, and that's the National Coalition of American Nuns. And we received a letter from them, and I'd like to read that to you. By the way, I should just add that one of the very earliest letters that actually ILGO received when we were working on the parade, I really want to say this, that I called Janine Gramick and said about the church and how they were using it, and she issued a letter within days in support of an inclusive parade and in support of us, and she has been there since. Congratulations and best wishes to all those gathered for the 4th annual Ihe Éireacht celebration sponsored by Lavender and Green Alliance. A celebration such as this helps to highlight the goodness and the joy of Irish gay and lesbian community. The National Coalition of American Nuns is proud to be part of this important cultural commemoration. Gay and lesbian rights have always been an important part of the agenda of this organisation of Catholic women religious dedicated to working for social justice. We extend warm congratulations to the evening's honorees Al Lawrence, Rena Blake and Deirdre Good for all they have done to defend and protect the rights of gay and lesbian people. At this time of year, we honour St. Patrick and we remember the gifts of Irish people to our American mosaic. We pray all good blessings for you from the God who only wills good for us. Sincerely, Janine Gramick, Co-Chair, National Coalition of American Nuns. Maybe some of the men in the church need to take a page or two from the women. Thank you.
A song by Percy French for you first, now some more. Oh Mary, this London's a wonderful sight, with the people here working by day and by night. They don't sow potatoes, nor barley, nor weeds, but there's gangs of them digging for gold on the streets. At least when I asked them, that's what I was told. So I just lent a hand to that digging for gold. But for all that I found there, I might as well be where the mountains of Moher sweep down to the sea. got the whole world with one wave of his hand. And there we stood talking of days that are gone, while the whole population of London looked on. But for all his fine power, he's wishful like me, to be back where the dark morns sweep down to the sea. There's beautiful girls here, but I'll never mind the beautiful shapes nature never designed, and lovely complexions, all roses and cream. But Lavender remarked, with regard to the same, that if on these flowers you venture to sit, the color would all come only on your lip. So I'll wait for the wild rose that's waiting for me, where the mountains of morn sweep down to the sea. Just do a little live there, one for my second song, I'll tell me why. I'll tell me Ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. My hair and they slow like foam, but that's alright till I come home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's a belle of Belfast City. She's courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for her, knocking on the door and the ringing of the bell saying, oh my
called Cool Tiles.
program is what we call the Roger Casement and Eva Gorbooth Leadership Awards. And it's one of the reasons why we gather. This is not just about any old Irish get-together. This is about commitment, it's about courage, and in the face of fear and hate, and it's in the face of just so many things that we as lesbian and gay people and our friends and families find ourselves up against. And we're still working for change. And this Roger Casement and Eva Gorbooth Leadership Award, many of you know, I'm sure, are familiar with Roger Casement and Eva Gorbooth. We won't go into their lives, are two of the more inspiring figures from Irish history. Because we do have a heritage to be proud of as lesbian and gay Irish people. Just as much that there is silence about our presence today, there is equally a silence about our heritage. We've been written not just out of the present, but also written out of our past. And we're recovering that slowly and daily, day by day, step by step, person by person, couple by couple, friendship by friendship. Just inspiring one another to leave fear and silence and oppression behind and coming out. And so that's why we're here, to celebrate the joy, literally, of being out and away from that place. And it's really good to be here. And I love this really moment, I know many of you do as well. And we spend some time, each time we do this, we think about who we wish to honor. We give it some thought. And tonight, we're really honored to have two people among us who have been inspiring persons in our community, who have worked, but not only in their own lives, in coming out, in being open, but in touching and reaching out to so many of us in the Irish community. It really is a great and special moment to be able to look to people and say thank you. And who not only when they come out sort of look after themselves, but really are out there for the brothers and sisters in our communities. And we're very honoured to do that. And in fact, I'll have Jimmy introduce actually somebody. We're going to start.
The great thing is, in order for us to introduce our guests, we have to bring up someone, and now we have to take a few minutes to introduce them. Jimmy Van Bramer has been a friend of Lavender and Greens for years. He's been coming to Iha Eric since, must be four, Jimmy? Three, sorry Jimmy, we missed you, the first one. Jimmy's a big part of Queen's Pride House, the lesbian gay community center being formed in Queens. He sits on the board as the treasurer. He's also a great writer for the LGNY, the Lesbian Gay New York newspaper. And Jimmy's here tonight to make an introduction for us. Jimmy Van Bramer.
Jimmy also was a great activist in St. John's University, and that's where I got to know Jimmy first. So he's also a great activist and for our community. It's great that Jimmy's here. Okay, he's here to speak about somebody very special. Jimmy.
Thank you, Brendan and Jimmy. I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled, when Jimmy and Brendan asked me to present this award to Rena tonight. I've known Rena for the last several years and have admired her many talents for just as long. Individual growth, a commitment of purpose, and the courage to make real those things about which you have dreamed are qualities possessed by very special people. Rena Blake, you are just one such special person. I first met Rena when she began dating my best friend, Marion Irwin, in the fall of 1992. Rena was working back then as a nanny and living up on Decatur Avenue in the Bainbridge section of the Bronx. Rena, it should surprise no one, was a very good nanny. Little Becky and Abby simply adored her, and she adored them. At around the same time, Rena was becoming more active in the lesbian and gay community, particularly the Irish lesbian and gay community. As has been the case for many Irish queers, the Irish lesbian and gay organization's struggle to march in the St. Patrick's Day parade drew Rena to its meetings. The blatant homophobia on the part of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, an emerging queer Irish identity, and a passion for justice led Rena to get arrested at her very first parade demonstration. She has been a fixture on the steps of the New York Public Library, as well as on the Fifth Avenue pavement every year since. I have watched Rena get arrested at these demonstrations, and can honestly say tonight how proud she, as well as the others, make me feel when they place themselves in harm's way in pursuit of fairness, justice, and equality. As Rena's activism increased, so too did her desire to do something different, perhaps more challenging in a different way on a day-to-day basis. She gave up her relatively comfortable position as a nanny and went about becoming a carpenter, a stretch for some, but not for Rena. With talent and determination, many things are possible. Rena's most recent, and perhaps her greatest triumph, is the Rising Cafe in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Several years back, Rena and her good friend and eventual business partner, Christine Marinoni, who's here tonight, spoke about their desire to open a cafe. Though both had little experience in the business, they envisioned a cafe which would also serve as a community center, full of queers of all different races and ethnicities, listening to music, planning demonstrations, hosting fundraisers, or simply enjoying a pint. Many people dream many wonderful dreams. Special people actually see them become reality. On Saturday, October 19th, 1996, the Rising Cafe celebrated its grand opening. That same night, one of the worst nor'easters in the history of New York City struck. As I traveled to the cafe that night, I was worried that many people would be scared away by the terrible weather. I knew how hard Rena, Chris, and many other people had worked to make that night a reality. However, as I entered the Rising that night, my fears were quickly dispelled. The place was jammed with an exuberant and eclectic collection of individuals. That night, we celebrated the successful establishment of Rising Cafe. Just as importantly, however, we offered testament and bore witness to the wonder of the human spirit, more specifically, Rena Blake's spirit. Today, we have all gathered to do very much the same thing. Before I present you the award, Rena, I would like to read a very special note of congratulations, all the way from Dublin, Ireland. Our mutual friend, Marion Irwin, upon hearing of your award tonight, penned the following words and asked me to read them to you here tonight. I'll try to read it without crying. My dearest Rena, congratulations on receiving this award, and congratulations to Brendan and company for their great choice. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. Since I met you, Rena, 6 years ago now, jeepers, you have been a constant source of love and inspiration to me. Not that you still don't drive me crazy sometimes, mind you. Your ability to see good in everyone and your constant zest for life have always been the qualities I love most about you. Not to mention your wonderful chat-up strategies. Always a learning experience. It will be 10 years this August that I first went to New York, and I often wonder, particularly since I have been back home, what my life would have been like if I had not gone. Inevitably, it comes back to, I wouldn't have met some of the most influential people of my life, including you, Rena. You know what they say about your first love. Since I met you, all of those 6 years ago, a lot has changed for us both. But you, my dear, have excelled and have proved that with guts, sheer determination, and of course charm, you can achieve anything. You are a truly wonderful person who will always be my rock, even when you don't want to be, and always where I look to for the joy of living. Congratulations again, Rena, and know that I'm thinking of you as always. I love you, and of course miss you. Mary.
and so Rina, Lavender and Green Alliance, Muintir Éireach na hÉire, on the occasion of Ihe Éireach 4, a celebration of Irish lesbian and gay life, are happy to present to you the Roger Casement Eva Gorbuth Leadership Award. Thank you, we love you, long may you shine.
I've always wanted to be in This Is Your Life. I think tonight's my night, so. When Brendan asked me to do this, I said, do I have to make a speech? And I do, I guess. So I'm not good at it. I think I've even survived opening the cafe without doing it. Christine's my voice. Want to come up? So, oh God, let's hope I can do this. All right. All right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, right. Jeez, I'm probably the most nervous person ever. Okay, let's go. Yeah, right. Jeez. I didn't think I was this bad, actually. No, because I didn't write the start of it, I only wrote the middle of it. So here we go. Yeah, I might have to. Then you're going to miss the first one.
We're going to start in the middle. You want to go backwards?
All right. On last Thursday, I was actually sitting in a courtroom again with Brendan, and we were brought up for the 1994 arrest. We had to go back to court, and I was sitting inside the court, and I was just looking at the faces of the people who were in there, and there was a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time. It was probably 40 of us. There was meant to be 90, 40 came, and as I was sitting there, I was just watching how segregated our Irish queer community is, and it made me very, very sad. And on coming here tonight, I asked a lot of people to come here, and a lot of people said no, and I just don't understand it. I think, like, as queer Irish people, we need to stick together, and it isn't happening right now, and I'm feeling that the St. Patrick's Day Parade, like, we go out almost every year, and every year we ask for the support of the Irish community, of the Irish American community, and of the queer community. And it's very ironic that we can do this year after year and not stand by each other one night a week or one night a year. It's kind of sad, and I think coming here tonight has changed my mind on a lot of things, and I'd like to thank Brendan and everybody in the Lavender Green Alliance. And I think it's work like this that will bring a community together, and this is where we need to start. That's one of the things I wanted to say. And the other thing is, I want to... There's a lot of people I'd like to thank for coming here, and one is Sheila's mom, my dancing partner. I've hung out with her all week, and I've watched her interact with Sheila, and it's so cool to see a mother-daughter interaction, and especially when her mother is so accepting of Sheila. It's beautiful to see, and I just wish that every parent could be as good as you are, and you make me proud, and that's it.
Rita Blake. Yes, Rita Blake. Thank you, Rita.
And of course, you've seen the Long Island Ravens, and who've been out there and on our behalf and on their own behalf. And founder and leader of the Long Island Ravens, of course, is Al Lawrence. And I remember when our group was talking about our next choice for award, It really didn't take much time. In fact, it was just very, very quickly. Everybody came up with the next person that we're honouring. And I'd like to invite actually somebody who's, again, going to tell us a little bit. And I'm going to tell you about the person who's going to introduce Al, and that's Tom McLaughlin. Tom McLaughlin is one great Irish American. Terrific guy, great Irishman. One of the most, I met Tom at Mass, like some of the most mad people in my life I'd met at Mass. But we're involved in Dignity. Yes, that's where I met Tom Moulton, but many other brilliant Toms in my life, and including Tom McLaughlin. He's just one of the most inspiring persons in this city, and in fact in this nation. Was on the leadership of Dignity National, San Francisco, and currently New York. Really, wherever he is, this man is out, is open, is working on our behalf, is generous with his time, with his money, with his energy, with his commitment, and always pushing and nudging the likes of me, you know, to do more, or when I get a little lazy, you know, to get out there and whatever. So, really, I'm just honoured that when I asked Tom McLaughlin would he like to come up and speak a little bit about his great friend Al, he was delighted, and I'm absolutely delighted that Tom McLaughlin is here and with us, you know. Thanks a million, Tom. Come on up. Chance to get up for Tom McLaughlin.
That's too sweet, thank you. Am I on here? Sure. Al, do you want to stand up here with me while we're doing this?
Well, yes.
Or do you need a
Come
seat?
on, Al. Put your hands together for Al Lauren.
Am I on here? Can we raise it a bit? I had the pleasure of first meeting Al in 1984. We were both serving on the National Board of Dignity USA. Al was representing the 17 Dignity chapters in New York and New Jersey. It was during his tenure as a director that Al introduced the motion that Dignity USA officially recognize as one of its ministries the Defenders, a club found in Dignity, New York, as an outreach to the Leather and Levi community. The Defenders are now active in cities across America: San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver, Boston, Tampa, DC, and New York. They continue to create interest and inquiries and continue to grow. Al is also a founder and member of Dignity Suffolk. Al has been out and public in his support of Dignity. He has been proud to say, "I am Catholic and I am gay." Al was a founding president of the Long Island Ravens Motorcycle Club and a founding member of their bagpipe and drum band. He currently serves as the band's business manager. And as you can see tonight, he cuts quite a lovely figure in his black and blue kilt with his leather vest. Al has been proud to say, "I am gay and I am a member of the leather community." Al has served in the United States Navy and is a member of the deputy sheriff in Suffolk County. He has been a school teacher and a college trustee. He has been proud to say, "I am gay and I am a public servant." Al is a bar owner. He owns the Long Island Eagle, a bar that not only attracts the Leather Levi community, but has also become a venue for fundraising for AIDS charities, for social and civic organizations, and for pride functions. Al is proud to say, "I am a gay business owner," and he is one who believes in supporting the communities that support him. Al is Irish, very, very Irish. He was born in Drumshambo, a tiny town in County Leitrim. My father was born less than 5 miles away in another tiny town called Dara. When I went home to visit my grandfather, and now when I go to visit my uncles, I pass through Drumshambo. What a beautiful part of Ireland it is. This is the part of Ireland where the River Shannon rises. The Shannon Pot is only a few miles from Al's home. Al Lawrence and the River Shannon both sprang from the same beautiful countryside in Ireland. And like the River Shannon, which nurtures the soil and the crops that it passes by, Al Lawrence has nurtured the lesbian and gay organizations that he has belonged to and has helped make them grow. Like the River Shannon, with its strength and its power, Al has stood as a fierce and powerful defender of the rights of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered people in our church and in our state. Like the River Shannon, which stands out as a beautiful blue ribbon on the green map of Ireland, Al stands out as in our community as a leader, an educator, a defender, an ally, a father, a grandfather, and a friend. And as the River Shannon is a legend around the world, Al Lawrence, I assure you, will be considered a legend in bold print when the history books of our community are written. Al has a real sense of fair play, a love of and loyalty to family and friends, a love of tradition. He has shown a willingness to listen, but an urgency to act. Al Lawrence gets things done. The colors lavender and green have stood for nobility and loyalty, two virtues which define Al Lawrence. Al Lawrence is a prince, a gay prince, and I'm proud to introduce him to you as this year's recipient of the Roger Casement Eva Gord Borth Leadership Award.
And sitting down here is actually Al's daughter. And okay, you're very welcome on. And so Al Lawrence, the Lavender and Green Alliance, Winter Éireach na hÉireann, on the occasion of Ihe Éireach 4, a celebration of Irish lesbian and gay life, we present to you the Roger Casement and Eva Gorbuth Leadership Award. Thank you, Al. Long may you shine. May they never tame your spirit.
Brendan said I'm supposed to say something. First of all, Tommy, Drumshambo, no. Tommy keeps thinking about Dowra, and Dowra, Drumshambo is between Dowra and a place called Ahavas, where my family lives, and they used to say, you're an ass from Ahavas. But he's in the right county anyway, okay? The Roger Casement Award. Everybody knows the history of Roger Casement, you know? It's in your booklet there, isn't it? And there's one thing most people don't know. That the British government tried to smear Roger Casement by pinning the gay tail on the donkey. And that was supposed to dispel any loyalty among the Irish people, because Ireland is a holy place, you know? And it's supposed to put it down because the guy isn't worth anything because he might possibly be gay. And then, of course, they executed the guy. He died in prison. They buried him in the prison yard. And decade upon decade, after an Irish administration had taken over, they asked for his remains back. And the British government refused. And it went on 4 or 5 decades, until finally they said, oh, what the hell, give it to them. When his remains were returned and landed at Dunleary, thousands of people marched behind that funeral cortege to bury that man where he rightfully belonged. And guess what? Nobody gave a damn in Ireland that he was gay. He was an Irish patriot. That's all that mattered. And I must say the Irish government has come far beyond anything I ever dreamed they would with gay rights. Gay people marching the St. Patrick's Day parade in Ireland. They win awards in Ireland. Here we get kicked around, right? Tomorrow there is a bit of an ahistorical event. You know, I know that you people that live in Manhattan sometimes think that it's the center of the universe. You know, that the world revolves around Manhattan, you know? Well, we clam diggers out beyond, we, believe it or not, on Long Island, we have 6 or 7 St. Patrick's Day parades. Ye only have 1. Okay? And last year, one of the oldest parades, Huntington, sponsored by the Ancient Order, and Friends of the Ancient Order, and I'm a member of the Ancient Order, they heard that we had a pipe band. And they sent us a contract, or we sent them a contract. They agreed to hire us. And then suddenly a little bird flew in their ear and said, they're gay. They canceled the contract. So we marched into other parades, to hell with them. This year, oh, by the way, Huntington is a lovely place. We have our Gay Pride March there. That's the only village in Long Island that has been ever taken to federal court by gay people to allow us to have a march. They lost, we won. We still have it. Thank you very much. This will be the 7th year now. So, this year, the Huntington Ambulance Squad invited our pipe band, hired us to lead them in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I said to the person from the ambulance squad, well, I think you better know the history here, you know. You're going to have a bit of a hassle with the parade committee. They said, we don't give a damn. We hired you. You're competitive. You're good. Okay. The parade committee told them they were going to assign them a band, and they said, no, we've already hired a band. And they said, well, you know, we'll get you the... No. We've hired a band. Got it? You're not paying for it. It's not your problem. We've hired a band. They're marching with us, and that's the way it is. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock in Huntington, our crowd is going to march down the street, leading the Huntington Ambulance Squad, and then go back to their headquarters for corned beef and cabbage, and the town will just have to get used to it, won't they? I would like to thank Lavender and Green, all of you. This is very nice. I will treasure it. Having been in the Republican movement for a while, I have certain feelings. There is a group coming out from Ireland next week, from Northern Ireland. One of the fellows who is one of their teachers is a friend of mine, and I got him into NYU here. He got his master's, and he teaches back there. And you all heard of a place called Drumcree, where when they have the marches, people slaughter each other. Drumcree also happens to have another distinction. It has the first school in Northern Ireland that I know of, where Catholic kids and Protestant kids go to school together from the start. And they don't have time to learn hatred and bigotry and bad politics and bad economics. So on the 13th of this month, this fellow who went to NYU is now the head of the English department there. He's bringing over 150 kids from Drumcree and Portadown, both Presbyterian kids and Methodist kids and Anglican kids and Catholic kids, all together, 150 of them. 25 are going to sing in the White House on St. Patrick's Day, 25 are going to sing in the British Embassy, and 25 are going to sing in the Irish Embassy. The rest of them will be marching with you down the street, I hope. And we have tried to defray the cost. The Salvation Army in Ireland has tried to help them. They will be on Long Island at the Cathedral of the Incarnation. The bishop out there, the Anglican bishop, is very good to us. He's got it fixed up. They will be at St. Patrick's Cathedral. They will be at Cardinal Stephanek High School. There is flyers on your table. Our pipe band and New York Scottish have put together to put them up in the Old Scots Presbyterian Church on 96th Street for one night's affair to try and defray their expenses. 150 Irish kids singing in harmony, looking for peace, which is what we all really want. Thank you very much.
And Lawrence. Jimmy.
And maybe actually, please welcome, this is Sandy Collins from Integrity, New York, gay, lesbian, Episcopalian group, who will tell us a little bit about Dear to Good. Thanks. Come up here, Sandy. Actually, just tell us Deirdre. By the way, okay.
Well, I don't know what to say about Deirdre, except that she would have liked to have been here in person, but yesterday she was operated on for colon cancer. And the good news is that they believe that all the cancer cells are gone. She's been a member of this community for quite a long time, and Deirdre is a professor of New Testament at General Theological Seminary, which is part of the Episcopal Church of the U.S. A wonderful woman, an activist, accidental activist. She became quite famous because she took on the Episcopal Church because she wanted to live with her lover, and at the seminary grounds, and the church said no, and she said yes, and the New York Human Rights Commission and the New York Times and a bunch of Episcopalians and a lot of people from our community got involved, and Deirdre is now living with her lover, her dogs, and her cats at the seminary, and she's been supportive of dignity in the Irish and gay and lesbian causes over the years. We've all had quite a scare lately because of her illness, so I ask your prayers. Again, like I said, the latest word from the hospital is that she's doing better. And that's it.
Deirdre, our prayers and our love and our energy. And you will also be, we have a gift that we'll be sending to Deirdre, and along with your love and prayers, of course. And thank you, Sandy, for your support. You're always there for us when we need it. Thanks a million. Sandy Collins, Integrity.
That's a mouthful. Great.
And Jeff, tell us what's going on with National and you talking about the marriage.
Right, so I'm here with Jeff Stone, National Director of the Northeast Region of Dignity USA. So Jeff, tell us what's going on at National these days.
Well, one of the main concerns of National, Brendan, is the National Freedom to Marry resolution. As you know, you were there. There was a demonstration at City Hall on February 12th. And our Executive Director of Dignity USA, Charles Cox, was there also, along with representatives of Lavender and many other organizations working for the right to marry. Dignity was one of the first organizations to support the so-called marriage resolution. And another thing that we've done, of course, we are a religious organization, but we support the civil right to marry. We've also developed a couples ministry and a registry of unions, a registry of holy unions, and we are the only Catholic organization that provides such a registry for committed same-sex couples to register their unions. So we're kind of working on it on two fronts. On the civil front, working for the right to marry civilly, and on the religious front, we're working for the right to marry within our own Catholic tradition.
Right, which Dignity has been. In fact, there have been union ceremonies, same-sex unions in Dignity community for many years now. Is this just recent, or have there always been?
There have been the union ceremonies for a long time, as you say, all around the country, but we had no formal way of recognizing them and recording them. And so it's just last year that we actually came up with a national registry of the unions. So that's been the step forward for us.
Great, good. So, and so what are we inviting communities to do around this issue?
Well, we are inviting communities, we're inviting all our local chapters, our 80 chapters around the country, to work in whatever way they can to support gay marriage rights in their localities and in their states. We've done it as a national organization. And we're also providing them with some of the tools that they might need to carry out unions within their own communities. We're providing them with models of services that have been used around the nation. And of course, these are not legally recognized at this point, but we hope that at some point they will be.
Right. And National issued last year a handbook looking at the whole issue of same-sex unions and holy unions and marriage. So have they been distributed?
Yes, they have. They've been distributed to each of our 80 chapters around the country. And What we've done is taken, I think, some of the most interesting things that have been done in our local communities around the country and put them in a book that is a resource for anyone else who might want to use them. They're perhaps of particular interest to Catholic folks, but I think they come from really a broad range of traditions, and I think they might well be of interest to you know, a wide range of people.
Right, so once again, here is Dignity way out in front, you know, and giving the lead and being part of that movement for equality in marriage.
We have been out in front on it, and I think we're often thought of as a very conservative organization because we're part of a conservative institution, and yet we're pushing that institution all the time. And it's, I think people sometimes get the wrong idea about Dignity, that we're not pushing. We are. We realize we're up against an institution which has a very long history and takes a very long time to change in many cases. But we're very optimistic. We do see hope and we do see change. We know it will change eventually.
Right. Terrific. And of course, we've had some very significant Catholic people who've been giving the lead on research and on addressing this issue. People like, I know, was John Boswell.
John Boswell, exactly, who wrote the book Same-Sex Unions in Pre-Modern Europe. Groundbreaking book. Probably the most influential work of scholarship on this whole subject.
Right, that's right. And I believe there were some essays in a number of books like ethicists and moral theologians who have come out in support of equality in marriage for lesbian and gay people. Who were those?
Well, there's one woman that I know of. Her name is Sidney Callahan.
Sidney Callahan, right.
Yes, and she teaches, I forget exactly where. Is it
Dobbs Ferry.
In Dobbs Ferry, Mercy College in
and
Dobbs Ferry.
Also Dan McGuire and a growing numbers all over the country.
Exactly.
And
so the theologians are ahead of the official church as well, just as we are too.
And of course we've been out there. So great. Thanks a million, Jeff.
Thank you, Brendan.
Okay, thanks for all the work you do. Bye-bye.